spoilers or the fuck. I keep forgetting this shit just starts like
immediately.
instantaneously. Anything show. We're gonna get a camera back at some point. We can. This fucking iPad has 4K.
Really?
Camera. Yeah, it's like a super high def camera. Yeah, it's like super crazy.
One day we'll turn it on.
For real. Okay, so
let's do a little bit more speedy.
Yeah, we'll do a quick one. Holy shit, fucking almost an hour. Whatever. I've seen podcasts longer.
Yeah, I mean that's a normal length for a solid podcast. At least an hour.
Really?
I mean the stuff I listen to.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was long, but I guess.
I mean, podcasts people don't know. Like some are like 30 minutes, some are like 4 hours.
Holy shit. Nah, fuck that.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
You like break it up. It's like in car rides or like while you're like working out or something. Like you can break it up. You don't sit still for 4 hours listening to a podcast.
God damn. Yeah. I suppose. Anyways.
We're already off topic.
Well, so yeah, breaking down the Disney Plus side of Marvel's Phase 4 announcements.
There's only like 2 that I'm actually interested in.
Really?
The other 3 are like degrees of eh.
Yeah, that's true. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
One of my ass.
What? you
That's the truth.
Oh, you fucking piece of shit.
And I'll tell you why.
I'm so interested to see which other 2 are now like you're totally down for.
Both of them are Hawkeye. Just kidding. I find the Winter Soldier boring in the movies.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But that's not surprising.
I mean, he doesn't he's just like a MacGuffin to propel other things forward.
Yeah.
And the show doesn't seem like it's going to need him. If it's like, I'd rather have a Sam Wilson show than like the title being The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like they had chemistry in the movies because they were like, I don't know, bickering friends about their best friend that they're sharing. And now it's like just them. When I'm assuming they'll build a friendship on their own, but like, the Winter Soldier doesn't interest me.
Here's the thing. So, the way I see this, and this obviously, this movie is, or this show is gonna obviously be a very political show, because
from what you told me,
from the rumors that we've heard, and the little research that I've done, the series is gonna be based around the U.S. government not wanting Sam Wilson to be, Captain America, which we've already been confirmed by Kevin Feige, by Chris Evans himself, by the fucking Anthony Mackie himself, by Disney and Marvel. Like, no, Sam Wilson is Captain America.
Yeah.
But it's titled Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, both of them, historically, in the comics, have become, one point or another, Captain America.
Yeah.
Sam Wilson being the most recent, and definitely having a lot of those like very political commentaries in his comics. I think it's going to be a really cool show. I think it's named Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it's going to be the transition point between Falcon becoming Captain America proper, and then Winter Soldier going from Winter Soldier to like the White Wolf. I think we're gonna still have a lot of connections to Wakanda. I think we're still gonna have a fair amount of like connections to that part of the earth and to his own like transformation through that culture. So I think this is gonna be kind of that last tidbit of what was going on in the Infinity Saga and their transition to their own like characters proper. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot in this movie invested for like the future characters, or for characters who have already been established and who are evolving with like the whole storyline of the MCU. And I think this is going to be like a really good kickoff. I think this movie, like this one, is going to be a good kickoff and like to everything else as far as like what's happening on Earth at least.
See, I just don't know what to expect from these shows. Like, this is going to be the first one, so it's going to set the tone for what these shows can be and what their scope will be. I mean, just looking at the imagery of the title of it, it's Falcon, the Captain America shield, and then the Winter Soldier. So there's already a symbol of, like, Captain America's right there in between them, and, like, which side is it going to go to? Because I'm assuming this is me guessing, there may be a storyline of them, the government pushing for the Winter Soldier taking up the title of Captain America because, you can more easily just, like, have a white dude in a face mask, and Captain America could be anywhere, but if you have the fucking Falcon, a black dude with wings, being Captain America, like, it's going to be more obvious that it's someone else, and somebody else will have to appeal to different people in the government and in the world, and his interactions with those people will be very interesting. I just don't give a shit about the Winter Soldier.
I mean, like, I get it.
I like him with his relationship to Steve.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, they've been best friends for 100 years, literally. Like, that's interesting, but I don't know. They'll have to do something big with him to make me care about him.
I think this is it. I think this is the big push for both of these characters. I think this is gonna get us to that point where, okay, man, like, Sam Wilson is Captain America. Like, he is going to be the face of these, like, next movies, alongside, the Black Panthers, the Captain Marvels, the Spider-Mans. I don't know, man. This is the one that I'm, like, super fucking excited for. Now, granted, Sam Wilson is, like, one of my favorite characters. But yeah.
I mean, I trust Anthony Mackie, and I trust, like, I've got no problem with his side of the story. Again, the Winter Soldier I feel like he's just going to be an obstacle to the story, and it's not going to be. That's why it's just an because I'm like 50-50 on it.
Again, I think it's also I think it's also like the Winter Soldier's evolution as a character out of that Winter Soldier title and into the White Wolf, which we already know he was like named.
Yeah, because I mean he like essentially had just been like a mind controlled ice cube for forever, and it took through Civil War and his time in Wakanda to like get his brain wiped of like those keywords and stuff. And Infinity War ends with him like trying to like move on and live with himself, but then he gets dusted. And so there's like a 5-year gap where he's not around, so we're like just getting back to him where he was at the end of Civil War essentially. So we don't know what his goals are or anything. We don't know what he wants to do.
Well, so, and here's the other thing. Speaking of the mind wipe of the words,
we haven't
Baron
even
Zemo.
We haven't even talked about
Baron
that.
Zemo's gonna be fucking the villain, and they're gonna go the full purple mask. It's the same actor.
Yeah, Daniel Bruhl.
It's gonna be the whole shebang. So that's gonna be cool, and that is gonna be also very interesting. So it will be an interesting like combination of like the back and forth between a very intense political climate, U.S. not wanting to Sam Wilson be Captain America, U.S. also having a whole bunch of shit with like the Soviets and Russia, and Winter Soldier being that guy, Winter Soldier and Falcon both evolving into their new roles and new like spaces, and then of course somehow Baron Zemo becomes Baron Zemo, and like I'm assuming escapes. Probably.
Somehow.
So, we'll see.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a spy show. Because Zemo is not, like, some guy with, like, lasers coming out of his eyes coming to kill you. He'll manipulate the things behind the scenes.
Which he already did. And he did fantastic.
And he's going to continue doing that because, like, the people that don't want Falcon to be Captain America could be influenced by him in some way.
The reason why I think this is going to be a very detail oriented and like very like a lot of their like there's going to be investment in there's going to be a huge investment in this show specifically again is because Baron Zemo was captured and put into prison by Black Panther because he killed his father. Which means we probably are going to get a lot of Black Panther name drops. We're probably going to at least see Shuri or one of the like main characters from Black Panther.
It'd be easier to get like a Shuri or an
Or
Okoye.
Okoye. Yeah, instead of like Black Panther proper. I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be a whole bunch. I think this is gonna be very.
And it will be interesting to like
Very
get a lot of that because we don't know what the fuck's going on with Wakanda.
Exactly.
Because like the entire royal family disappeared.
Yeah.
And like we know like M'Baku has been in charge, but
Yeah.
we don't know what.
Or that's at least a rumor.
No, they've confirmed that.
Did they? Okay. All right.
Because I mean, who else is around? We don't know any other.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know whatever Lupita Nyong'o's character. We don't know if she got dusted or not. So she probably, if she wasn't, she would have taken a leadership thing,
Yeah.
undoubtedly.
Nakia.
There we go. Jesus, I could not get there.
I
I definitely don't like. I'm not going to be down on this show, but I'm just like not itching at it.
I get you. Get you.
I am itching at the next one. I think that can be just like because it's gonna be so fucking weird.
Yeah.
That it's gonna be real interesting.
I'm super hyped for WandaVision. I think their character development, especially for Wanda, can be like really powerful. I think it's gonna be super awesome to see her like.
And she's so fucking powerful.
Dude,
like I want
yes.
her to actually become like the strongest person.
What the fuck is going on? Holy shit!
It's drilling holes for
I don't
some
know,
reason.
man. Fucking hell. Wanda, dude. Yeah, man. We saw Wanda coming out of being dusted and just like
One-on-one Thanos.
Yeah, manhandling like a young and bloodthirsty Thanos. Like that's the other thing that they like made very, made the audience like understand hardcore. It's like this isn't the Thanos from like 2017 or 2018 who like succeeded and did everything. This is 2014 Thanos who's like years younger, like very bloodthirsty,
yeah.
not necessarily sure of his place like quite yet in the universe and what he wants to do. So yeah, she like pieced him up.
And he had to like pull his ace in the hole of like start firebombing everybody to like get her to drop him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited. I think that, like I said earlier, we're gonna get like some kind of like comic line where she goes and creates or recreates like Vision or something from her own power. We'll probably also get don't lose your train of thought, but we'll probably also get like a cool little nod to the recreation of Vision in the comics where he came back and he was all white.
Maybe
we'll probably get something like that. So
I think similar to what I was saying about just the title card for each of these, like having it be called WandaVision is important because it's like Wanda's vision, like it's her possessed. Like you can definitely get that it's going to be her. Like I imagine it's going to be her like ideal situation of what her life could be.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be fucking weird, and it's going to be important because it's going to be leading. It's the only thing we know is going to directly impact a movie.
Yeah. Is
her time in that show. Like, obviously, Falcon Winter Soldier is going to matter, but we don't know it's going to, like, set up something.
What if it is... What if... So now I'm looking at it. What if... Hey... What if... Okay, I'm sorry. Some of these movies are actually impacted, like, by others. So, like, what if Falcon Winter Soldier is impacted by some of the things that Black Widow did back in the day, especially if you're saying that it's in between Civil War and Infinity War. Then, what if Shang-Chi is impacted by, by the Eternals, because the Eternals created the 10 Rings. And now that I'm thinking about it, how many actors are there?
In the Eternals?
Yeah.
A shit ton. I don't know if it's 10, but it's a bunch.
Yeah. So, like, what if they were the creators of the 10 Rings or the 10 Energies or whatever?
That'd be interesting if the movies backdoored the shows.
Yeah. Then we have, obviously, as you said, the only movie that we know directly for sure is going to be impacted by the show, which is Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, being impacted by WandaVision. And then, going into the next shows...
Loki is essentially a what if.
Yeah, Loki and what if are like they kind of tie to each other because Loki. So the Loki show, from what we understand, is the 2011 or 2012 Loki that was from the Avengers that escaped with the Space Stone Tesseract, and it's just kind of bouncing through like dimensions, through time,
And
we
he's
also
still like an evil trickster god. He
Yeah.
doesn't have any of the character development
exactly.
from any other movies.
Now this is also like so supposedly what's going to happen is first off that dimension has now 100% been branched off, so it's its own dimension, so it's not going to have anything um, impacting the main MCU continuity. But apparently he's going to be time traveling through time and be impactful of like super big historical events. That's what I heard. So
yeah, it's just gonna be like a quantum leap time jumping show where
Yeah.
he just like fucks around throughout history, and I think it would just be like a fun romp. I don't think that's all I expect out of that show.
yeah, and then
Tom
of
Hiddleston's
course,
great, so I
Yeah,
trust
it's
that
gonna be
he'll
super
be
cool.
enjoyable at least.
And then of course the What If show, which is going to be like Marvel's first ongoing animated show.
with like fucking everybody's back, like Hemsworth.
Oh, what? They're going to be voice acting their characters?
Killmonger. It's a bunch of people are in this. There was like 20 people are going to be back voicing their characters.
Holy shit, that's badass. But I mean, it is going to be cool. The What If you're not necessarily familiar with it, was a series in the comics, and it also like they made a very cool reappearance recently, talking about just like storylines of like what if so and so became
Yeah,
this
instead of this, what if this happened?
yeah, so like it was
Didn't it if in one sorry to interrupt, but it wasn't one of the what ifs like what if Black Widow got the Infinity Gauntlet or something?
I think so. I know for a fact one of the what ifs was what if the Green Goblin got the gauntlet, and he got like it was really trippy because he got super pissed off towards the end of the comic issue, and he was like, "Oh, he snaps his finger and he wished or willed his father out of existence." And then he was like, "Oh no!" He's like, he realized like that kind of like would also
Chain
get rid of
reaction.
him. Yeah, and so he tried to unwill it, but then he was removed from existence, and then it like everything just chain reaction. It was like super trippy, but there's a lot of really cool what if stories. Some of the more recent ones were like, what if Flash Thompson became Spider-Man, not Peter Parker? What if the Punisher became Spider-Man? What if one of my favorite ones was what if Magic became the Sorcerer Supreme, and Magic is like a mutant who can like teleport through the main 616 into like hell essentially, but she's also possessed by a demon.
And she's Colossus' sister, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of cool shit.
And the fact that it's animated is going to be able to do
Yeah.
any fucking weird thing that
Exactly.
they want and
Yeah.
have all that freedom.
It'll also be interesting because Marvel has not historically been known to do very good cartoons. Like,
That's the only thing DC's better at them.
Yeah.
Is their animated movies are usually great, and Marvel's are.
yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, and then I mean, the last one we get is Hawkeye, and I don't think it'll directly relate to fucking Thor like at all.
I mean, that'd be super fucking confusing if a story about Hawkeye being sad and him trying to train a better Hawkeye
Yeah,
has to do with Valkyrie or something.
who knows? Fuck, I don't know. Whatever. Honestly, I see the pattern in a lot of these until we get there, and then it's just like,
This is going to be the most like isolated thing,
Yeah.
probably. It's probably just them reaching an agreement with Jeremy Renner. It's like, look, you're not going to get a movie, but how about a TV show?
where you're playing second fiddle to fucking
To a
to a little
14-year-old.
girl. So I don't know, man. Yeah, it's gonna be
But hey,
interesting.
you still have a sleeve and a white nationalist haircut, so
Dude.
have fun.
Right? Fuck. That's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So
The two I'm most excited for are WandaVision and The What If, just because I'm curious about about what the What If will actually be.
it'll probably be like, what if Killmonger didn't die, or what if he like succeeded in killing Black Panther?
Or like, what if he grew up in Wakanda or something like that.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
A lot of what ifs. What if this is good? What if not?
What if this podcast was popular?
Yeah.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?